You're what's going on, y'all? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is your girl Ray P back for another episode of the We Got Y'all podcast. Of course, I am not here alone. I am here with my amazing co-host, comrade, friend, road dog, just Renaissance man, Kyron Richardson, aka King
Mhm.
Rich. Cool ass Kyron, all of the things. What's going on, friend?
I'm chilling. Always a pleasure to be here with you, Rachel. Shout out to you. Shout out to the great intros. Always gets a brother's day started right. You know what
For
I mean?
sure.
How can I lose with intros like that and friends like Rachel?
I
You know,
mean,
that's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. But we are here. Another episode of We Got Y'all. 2 in 1 week.
hey.
Shout out to y'all
We
out
told
there.
y'all we was coming back. Don't
Yeah,
let me
man.
being flaky and busy fool y'all.
Not to mention, man, this is just the start because we got 2 shows that we're going to be covering in September alone that will probably take us until at least the end of October, maybe even early November,
Hmm.
and anything else that falls. So fall is going to be a big time for television. Maybe I know we're here to talk about the Black Real Television Awards. Maybe there will be a brief discussion on the Emmys. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Don't want to promise anything, but we do have 2 series that we will be talking about later this month. So please make sure you stay tuned, stay subscribed. Speaking of which, remember to like, share, and tell a friend to tell a friend.
For sure.
Comment if you want to be included. Speaking of which, I do have a comment that I want to read that
Hey.
we got from our episode that we just released on Churchill. Very fun episode. Made me want to rewatch Churchill again. Like that's gonna be a show that I just keep in rotation. It's unless you watch it, it's hard to really describe how
Hmm.
charming and how funny and how good the show is. It's just
Hmm.
very um we tend to we tend to be led towards the big productions and the your Game of Thrones and your
Hmm.
Successions, and you have these $1 million budgets, and they're shooting in Iceland and all these great places, and it looks beautiful, and the cinematography is great, but it's really just about the core, and that's kind of, I mean, it goes hand in hand with the church. Just come as you are. What do you have? And that's what Kevin on Stage did, and there's something to be admired about that. So shout out to them.
And that
Um,
is not meant to sound shady.
nah, not at all, not at all. Hopefully, it didn't come
That
off
is
that way.
giving
It
low
just
budget.
Nah, yeah, yeah, not even that. But my whole point was there is an emphasis. As I mentioned, we're talking about award shows, and we're talking about Emmys and what they look at. And
Hmm.
there are also shows that are just as good that don't have those large budgets,
For
but
sure.
still put
For
out
sure.
great production and great television. So yeah, that's what I meant by that. Thank you, Rachel. I did not want that to come off as shady.
Yeah.
But shout out to Art by Nate, my brother Nate Austin,
Hey.
he been dogging me all week, but that's a whole nother thing. Um, shout out to my brother. He did comment, dope episode. Glad y'all highlighted the show. Love to see Kev on stage. It's growth. And that's another thing, kind of the point I wanted to make. Um, if you've been following him and these influencers or social media creators or YouTubers, as people call them,
Hmm.
um, I don't know where I land on that as far as is that shade or is that just a description. But I feel like some people, especially in the business, when they call you a YouTuber or call you an internet comedian, there's a
Hmm.
little bit of shade with that. So
Sure.
Kev has been like, you know what? I'm more than that. He has his own production studio,
Hmm.
and that's we already talked about. The hospital show's going to be coming out here soon. Um, it's been a beautiful thing to see, and I love seeing good people win.
For
Like,
sure.
he seemed like a very solid dude. So shout out to Kev on stage. Shout out to Churchy. Shout out to Nate for
For
showing
sure.
us the love. And shout out to if you're into art by Nate Austin on Instagram. Check him out.
He's
Incredible artist.
phenomenal.
Absolutely, absolutely. But Rachel, we are here to discuss the ninth Black Real Television Awards.
For
Um,
sure.
full disclosure, Rachel and myself are voting members, so we
Hmm.
did partake in the voting. I'll be real with y'all. I don't necessarily remember who I voted for in some of these categories because the voting took place a couple months ago, and Rachel and myself had mentioned if you looked at the ballot for some of these categories, they were just impossible to pick. It was
For
impossible to
sure.
pick for some of these, especially the acting category. So, yeah, we're going to talk about it though. Go ahead, Rachel.
I was gonna say one, you should have saved your ballot, but I
I
didn't. I'm
might
just,
have.
just talking shit. But I low key now that you said, now that I'm thinking about it, I might have. But shout out to the Black Real family, our family. We love y'all. Thank you for all of your support. What I will say about this endeavor for TV and even the movie awards, it has caused me to extend a level of grace to academy voters from our industry, because there is so much content out there to consume. There are so many shows, movies, actors, directors, soundtracks, scoring, this, that, and the third, that to truly, truly, truly give, dare I say, an unbiased vote, um it is hard. It is fucking hard. So shout out to everybody in the number contributing to that, and shout out to everybody, whether you want or not, just for um submitting yourself to the arts.
Yeah, that's a great point, Rachel. If you're gonna have a position like this where you're voting, you want to make sure you do conduct your due diligence and really watch everything.
Mm-hmm.
Not vote for things that look familiar. If there's a show with a big name that I didn't watch, don't want to just vote for that person because you
Right.
recognize the name. I mean, it's also a great way. I know people say awards are I won't say meaningless, but they don't mean as much as what maybe outside influence might put on them.
Mm-hmm.
But for a lot of people, it does. For your young and up and coming actors, awards and success are what leads them to their next role, and that's what stops people from being just this run of the mill person that just kind of floats around these different projects. I mean, you see the success of Forever, and Carrie Pittman has been doing other things with the morning show, which we'll be covering here on We Got Y'all. But Forever kind of took her to another place as far as the success of that. Um, and there's countless examples of that. Like once people just kind of have that breakthrough, their
Mm-hmm.
whole career can look different. So yes, they don't mean everything. I think being nominated, and some people might look at that as, oh, that's just
Banana.
that's a participation trophy answer to be
Mm-hmm.
nominated. But it really is, because anybody could win. I think once you reach the nomination part, you can win,
Mm-hmm.
and it really doesn't matter who's who and what's what. And it's all up to preference too. Like I might like a certain drama series and they acting more in this series more than I do the next. Doesn't mean one person or one series is more deserving. So there's a lot that goes into it. And to echo your point, Rachel, shout out to anybody who's done this before, done it in the past, done it for multiple organizations, because it does take work and it does take a lot of time. And we haven't even been on the part where people are sending you gift baskets and trying to influence all
Right.
that stuff. And, hey, if y'all want to, you're more than welcome. I mean, contact info was in the episode description. Please reach out if that's what you want to do. We're more than happy to consider
But
things. But
you're not
I
above
believe
bribery.
I'm not above properly, right? My morals are very, they're very shaky at times. But I will say shout out to Cordell,
For sure. Look
Cordell
like
Martin, the nominating chair person, who, once again, going to your point, Rachel, not only us voting, but putting all of it together and
for sure.
organizing and making sure
For
everybody's on point. And the people who might not be submitting their ballots
sure.
until the last minute of the last day, and the people he has to send multiple text messages to. Hey, can you please get this ballot in by this time? Because obviously we take this seriously, and it takes a lot to be one person doing all of that. So
For
shout out to
sure.
Cordell
For
in a
sure.
serious way, and we get to talk about it. This is we talk about the film, or we have talked about the film awards for the past couple of years. We'll be submitting our first ballots at the end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
But TV was first, and we all know Rachel's a TV fool, and we're gonna get into some of these nominations and the wins.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of want to start. I don't know, Rachel. Do you want to start with like series, or do you want to start with acting?
Let's
There's a
start
lot
with
we can do.
series.
All right, so let's start with some series, and we won't talk about the performances yet. Um, I won't get into the nominations of this one. I do just want to shout out the winner of the Outstanding Variety Sketch Talk Series or Special was the Kendrick Lamar halftime show.
Okay.
That did win that. So, outstanding TV, movie, or limited series. This was a little bit confusing because I guess technically Netflix would count as TV. I don't
Yeah.
know. What are your thoughts on that? Yeah, I was because I looked
Well,
at it as a movie.
it depends on what it is, because there are series and there are movies.
That's true. That's true. So I guess it's technically a TV movie, but I do want to give out. I want to shout out the nominees. One, we had Dope Thief, which is
Mhm.
on Apple TV Plus. Rachel and myself have talked about that. If you listen to our episode a few weeks back, what's Ray Rock watching? Dope Thief was one of those. Emperor of Ocean Park,
Mm-hmm.
Fight Night, The $1 Million Heist,
Mm-hmm.
Rebel Ridge, which is on
Your favorite.
Netflix, and then The Supremes, At Earl's All You Can Eat, a show that has a lot of big names, but for some reason I feel like a lot of people haven't seen it or
It's
been
so
tapped
good.
into it. Yeah, I don't think it really hasn't gotten the love that I feel it should. We named those 5 nominees. The winner was Rebel Ridge. Rachel just joked. Listen, I've heard this movie described as an action movie with no action. I remember seeing the trailer, and this is trailers do so much, and it's funny because now I steer away from them. Try
Mm-hmm.
not to be influenced before I go to the movies. Um, and we live in a different world where when we were younger, we just watched TV and trailers would come on television. Now you can see it on social media, YouTube, wherever the case is. But I remember seeing the trailer and immediately saying, "Oh, that's my type of movie. I'm hooked." And I remember that Friday it came out on Netflix. I watched it that night, and I was pleased. I was pleased with what we got. I love the suspense. I love the um I'm taking this person too lightly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don Johnson, I believe, was the police chief, and not really knowing exactly who Aaron Pierre's character was until it was too late. And then, the movie and the plot were they kind of silly. Yeah, when you look back at it, it's a great first watch, maybe not a great second, third watch. And there aren't a lot of movies like that, but still very enjoyable. I think I liked it more than most. But maybe not because obviously it won for this category. What do you think about this? Did you think somebody else should have won? And how do you feel about the Rebel Ridge win?
To your point, I think you enjoyed it more than others. Myself being in that number, for me, I'm probably going the Supremes or I don't know, even the Heist over that. But
Mm-hmm.
shout out to Rebel Ridge. Shout out to Aaron Pierre. Loved Mufasa.
Yeah, yeah. And all joking aside, Mufasa was a good movie.
Yeah, no, it
Um,
really was.
but I know most people they want to see the tunnel dance before they see the movie. Shout out to all y'all out there. I'm not gonna call y'all no names, but
Bless that.
no, yeah, I'm not gonna call
What's
y'all no
next?
names. But yeah, Rebel Ridge should have won. I don't know. I kind of feel you with the Supremes. That's probably the
Mhm.
better show
Yeah.
or the better like limited series. But
Mhm.
it is what it is. I think the J HUD Tunnel Walk might have boosted. You add on some Tiana Taylor and all that kind of good stuff. And plus once again, he's gonna be on the new season of the morning show.
Mhm.
Aaron Pierre is somebody he was in the incredible FX show. I forget the name of it, but it was a Malcolm X, Martin Luther King with Kelvin Harrison, where he played Aaron Pierre played Malcolm X, Kelvin Harrison played
Martin.
Malcolm or Martin,
Malcolm.
excuse me. So yeah, his star is rising. They won. Shout out to Netflix. Shout out to Rebel Ridge. Let's move on to Outstanding Comedy Series, where we had another 5 nominees. All right, we had Abbott Elementary, The Bear, Fargo, The Residents, and Survival of the Thickest. Abbott Elementary won. I voted for Abbott Elementary. Rachel, in my opinion, Abbott Elementary is Jordan in the 90s. Like they can win this every single year
Every
if they
single
want
time.
to.
Abbott Elementary is one of my favorite shows. Right now, maybe ever. It's going in that top slot. I watch it at home. It's on my DVR. I watch it on Disney Plus, Hulu. I watch it on a plane. I will watch Abbott Elementary everywhere. It is
Mm-hmm.
so good, so funny, wholesome, quote unquote, coming off our churchy episode. Shout out to Barbara Howard. Phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal show. Shout out to all the cast and crew.
Absolutely. I love to see what they did with it. And they don't miss. There hasn't been a miss of an episode. It was one of the rare instant phenomenons. Like from
For
episode
sure.
one, you were tuned in and it spread like wildfire. Once you heard about it and you watched it, and we know that format works. We've seen it with The Office. We've seen it with Modern Family. Just kind of the first person. Hell, we've seen it way back with shows like The Real World. That
Yeah.
confessional style of that TV works. And if
Mm-hmm.
you have clever writing and great acting and good character development and storylines, mixed in with some ridiculousness. And we talked about this on Churchy, Rachel, where I said every single workforce or workplace should have their own series just to
Mm-hmm.
highlight what goes in. And that's we get a look into public schools
For
in
sure.
Philadelphia. So Abbott Elementary is just one that's I think solidified its place in sitcom lore. Gonna go
Absolutely.
down as one of the greatest and probably the best black sitcom since Blackish, I'd say.
Okay.
Would you say it's better than Blackish? Do you like it better than Blackish? Is that not fair to even talk about because they're kind of different?
They're different. Yeah, I think it's a little unfair because they are so different. But Blackish was really, really, really good.
Blackish is really
Um,
good, man. Do you
I
think Blackish is but for all accounts and measures, comparison is a thief of joy. So try not to compare them too much. But I am curious. Do you think Blackish? Do you think the lore of Blackish would be larger if there weren't spinoffs? If we didn't
no,
get Grownish or anything, do you think anything has to do with the other, or
no,
Mixedish and all that other stuff?
not at all. First off, Mixed Dish only got 2 seasons. Um, and I love sorority sister Tika Sumter, but it wasn't great. We didn't need it. Um, we didn't need it. But shout out to people having a job. We love actors working.
Absolutely.
Grownish was actually good. This is the difference. With the spinoff of Grownish, it didn't take anything away from Blackish. Blackish still had what 2 seasons after Grownish was already established and going on. So for
Mhm.
me, the audiences, while they could pull from the Blackish audience, it was different because we're following Zoe through her college life. It's not quite the same, but very good. I don't think one took away from the other at all.
Got you. I
If
got you.
anything, maybe mixed this, but
Yeah, maybe Mixedish. Yeah, I don't. I know people look at the spinoffs a certain way, but I don't personally see any issue with it. Speaking of spinoffs, you know what I was thinking about, and this is a real time thought that we should probably have an off air, but when since it's on my mind, since we're discussing spinoffs, I saw a clip the other day online. It was a strong black lead I think posted
okay.
on IG, and it was of here's the thing. I didn't watch this show, and a lot of people might be shocked. Did
See,
not watch this show, and it made me want to say, Rachel, we should do. I should do a rewatch and just give you my thoughts as a first time viewer. I never watched the game. I
I'm
never watched the
sorry.
game. I never watched the game. I'm
The
familiar
spinoff
with the
of
show.
Girlfriends, the game by
Yes,
Mara
yes,
Brock Kill.
yes. I never watched it. I watched episodes here and there. I know some characters' names, but I've never sat down. I don't know the storyline of things. I know characters and certain things, but most of my viewing has been clips online. I've never sat down and really watched an episode or know the drama. And part of me, and here's where I'm getting to. I know this has nothing to do with Black Guerrilla War, so bear with me for a quick second. But one of my favorite things to do if I'm watching like a YouTube video, or one of the things that I've really been attracted to lately, I like reaction shots or reaction videos of people who are listening. There's a guy, Dex TV. Dex TV on YouTube. I want to give him a shout out. He has a music channel, hip hop channel, where he's
Mhm.
reacting to songs for the first time. So a lot of 90s hip hop, a lot of Jay-Z, a lot of artists that he just wasn't thrown on. And I love seeing people's reaction to their first time. And I thought about it like, you know what? It was a scene. I don't know. Was it Derwin? Is Derwin
Mhm.
the boyfriend? All right.
Yeah.
I don't. He was like unzipping somebody. It looked like it was a friend, but they kind of crossed the line. I don't
Mhm.
know, but it looked fascinating. It made me want to learn more. And I'm like, you know what? I should watch the game and give people my first time real reaction to what's going on. I know you're probably stunned that I've never seen it, but I never watched the game.
I am flabbergasted.
Yeah, never watched the game.
Wh- what were you doing when we were having like the game, dare I say, watch parties?
So I'm trying to think. Let me look this up in real time so I can make sure that I know. I know like the black dude, the bald head dude that's tight with money. I know
Jason.
about all that stuff. Yes.
Mhm.
Um. So let's see. The Game was on TV from, so they had two different versions of it. All right, 2006 to 2015, and then 2021 to 2023. So 2006, I'll tell you right now, and I've said this before on Culture Garden, that '06 to '09 era, TV just wasn't happening a lot. It just wasn't happening a lot. Those were college years. I was ripping and running, doing all types of stuff I had no business doing. Um, but you would have at least thought that um, one of the young, women that I might have been spending time with, we would have
One
been
of the
watching
young
the game.
college co-eds. That's
Yeah,
why
one of the young college co-eds. But yeah, I that's why I
flabbergasted.
like I said, I watched some episodes, but I never was. Here's the storyline. Here's what happened last week. What's going to happen this week? I never got into it that deep, and it was always one of those that circled over me. I'm like, damn, I can't believe I never watched this. I watched Girlfriends. I
That is
watched all
crazy.
the '90s classics, but never did. So I was thinking to myself, you know what? I'm going to start it, and just maybe should start just giving some input on what my thoughts are.
There's a podcast about the game, people rewatching it kind of in real time, right? That's on right now. Aldous Hodge was the original Derwin.
I think I remember hearing that.
I watched the game, the original. I watched it when it got to BET. I tried to watch it on Peacock. Uh I don't think it curled quite over. When Lauren London was on there on BET, like I cannot believe you've never watched the game.
It's
Your
kind of
boy
crazy.
Lawrence, whatever his real name is escaping me right now.
Jay Ellis. I
Jay,
know he was doing it.
he
So in
was
the later
good.
years, right?
Yeah, he was on with Lauren London. I'm flabbergasted. You have shocked the shit out of me.
Hey
I
man,
cannot believe
hey,
that.
hey,
We
this
used to
is
have
the,
in the dorms at people's houses watching the game.
I believe it. I used to do the Flavor of Love, and that's crazy when you
Yeah,
think about the comparison. We used to do
yeah.
Flavor of Love
Especially
watches
for a nigga
over
that don't like reality TV.
exactly. But Flavor of Love, man, over at Campus Village, come through. Had some people come through when we watched that on a little small 17-inch TV. Um, back in those college days. But that's neither here nor there. This is a safe space. So I'm glad I was able to admit that, even though Rachel is flabbergasted.
It's
But maybe
low
we'll,
key
we'll
judging.
we'll try to
I
cook something
can't
up.
judge, but I have a tinge of judgment.
I get it. I get it. I understand. I get it. I understand. See, that's the thing about me. I'm very self-aware. I know. I know the reaction I'm about to get when I'm about to say some bullshit. So,
My lord. Mm,
I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. So here we are. But yeah, we'll work on that. But going back to the Black Film TV Awards,
yes.
we mentioned the Abbott Elementary. Let's go ahead and move on to Outstanding Drama Series before we get into the actual acting categories. So we had 5 nominees for this as well. Once again, very difficult. We had Cross, which is on Prime Video, Forever on Netflix. Speaking of Mara Brockakill, shout out to her. Godfather of Harlem, Rachel Show.
So good.
Paradise,
So good.
which came like a hurricane. Maybe that might not be the best thing. It's hurricane season, but it came out of nowhere and kind of just captured the hearts of all of us. And then Reasonable Doubt, which is streaming on Hulu. Those are the 5 nominees for Outstanding Drama Series. The winner was Paradise, starring Sterling K. Brown. I know for a fact I voted for Forever. I
Okay.
love Forever. It's one of my favorite series that I've watched in quite some time. I don't know if you remember who you voted for,
The
but
Paradise Girl, because that's the what immediately came to my mind. I said Paradise.
yeah, Paradise is it's one of those where no matter who I voted for, that would have been 2 or 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at all. Paradise is more than deserving. One of the best televisions episodes that I've watched in a while was, I believe, episode 8 or episode 7 of Paradise, where you kind of see how everything started. I won't give any spoilers, but they've already wrapped up season 2. We should be getting that soon. Just a very unique story, and the acting is phenomenal
For
in
sure.
that show.
For sure.
So I want to give some love to Paradise on Hulu. Shout out to them for winning Outstanding Drama Series. I don't have any beef with that, but I really believe everybody nominated could have won.
Yeah.
Cross, Godfather, Harlem, Reasonable Doubt. Well, Reasonable Doubt's a different kind of tone, maybe, from the rest of those shows. In a sense, even Forever is a little bit of a different tone than Godfather Harlem. I can't put my thumb on it, but there is something that's a little bit different about Reasonable Doubt. Very good watch, very fun watch.
They
But
just lean.
definitely different than Paradise. You said what?
They just lean younger.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's a, you know what? That's a great way of saying it. They lean younger. They lean younger. So let's talk about some acting.
Let's go.
Let's start with supporting before we get into leads, Rachel. Um, First and foremost, outstanding supporting performance in a TV, movie, or limited series. Um, I think we had 10 nominees. It was very difficult to go through these. I will tell you right now. We're going to talk about it. So, once again, the nominees for supporting performance in a TV, movie, or limited series. We have Don Cheadle in Fight Night, The $1 Million Heist. We also have Taraji P. Henson from Fight Night, The $1 Million Heist, as well as Samuel L. Jackson from Fight Night, The $1 Million Heist. We have O.T. Fagbenle. If I'm saying his name correctly, he's presumed innocent. He was the DA with the weird voice. I hated the way he talked in that show.
Sure.
Very punchable. Had a very punchable, smug look about him. But he did a phenomenal job. Anytime you get that kind of reaction out of the crowd or out of the audience, you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Joffrey, anybody, Ramsey from Game. Anytime you're hated like that, that means you're killing your role.
Yeah.
Renzi Feliz, the Penguin, played. I forget his name on the Penguin, but he was like the sidekick. We have Tiffany Mack from Emperor of Ocean Park, Issa Rae in a very discussed Black Mirror episode, Tracy Ellis Ross in Black Mirror, Ashley Walters in Adolescence, and Forrest Whitaker in Emperor of Ocean Park. Rachel, do you remember who you voted for?
I probably went Don Cheadle or Sam.
I went Don Cheadle. So the winner was outstanding supporting performance in a TV, movie, or limited series was Renzi Feliz in The Penguin. Once again, he played the
little boy, the kid.
Yeah, he played the kid. I don't know.
That's a good fit.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I went Don Cheadle as well. What did you think about Fight Night?
I thought it was good. It took me a long time to actually watch it, to sit down. I started it a couple times and couldn't get into it at first. But once I finally did, I was like, oh, okay, it's smooth.
Yeah, I actually wasn't mad at it at all. I'm the same. I remember seeing the preview for it because they did a good job of promoting it.
For sure.
I believe that was that a Will Packer production?
I think so.
If I'm not mistaken. I remember seeing the previews for it and remember looking at the all-star cast and saying, ooh, can't wait to see this. And I remember it dropped and I remember trying to watch episode 1. Either too much was going on in life. I'm going to get back to this. And it was just one of those random days, like 6 months later, when I was like, man, I ain't got nothing to watch.
Yeah.
Let me start Fight Night. And I actually was able to stick with it. And I'm not mad at it at all. Victor was Renzi's name. Victor. I could not remember that. But yeah, Don Cheadle did a great job. Samuel. They did switch this up. I think we talked about this on our Black Real Movie Awards, where they got away with actor and actresses, and then went ahead and just went with overall best performance. So you could have some more winners in that case, but I think Renzi Feliz did a great job.
For sure.
The Penguin was a great show, great watch, and I think it was definitely deserving. So with that being said, let's move on to outstanding supporting performance in a comedy series, Rachel. Once again, 10 nominees. We have Tone Bell, The Survival of the Thickest, Lionel Boyce in The Bear, William Stanford Davis, who played in Abbott Elementary, Coleman Domingo in The Four Seasons, Janelle James, Abbott Elementary.
Four Seasons is actually really good. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Janelle James, Abbott Elementary, Danielle Pinnock in Ghost, Cheryl Lee Ralph, the legend in Abbott Elementary, Susan Kalichi Watson in The Residents, Jessica Williams in Shrinking, once again, Rachel's show, and Tyler James Williams in Abbott Elementary. Hopefully y'all can see, and we haven't even gotten to drama, but hopefully y'all can see the stress that comes with picking a winner. And you only get one.
Yeah.
You only get one. Rachel, do you remember who you voted for?
I might have gone Jessica James, Jessica Williams from Shrinking, or Janelle James. It's probably one of those two.
Well, You're right, depending on which one you chose. Janelle James from Abbott Elementary. We talked about her in her first ever film performance when we covered one of them days on Culture Garden.
Yeah.
But Janelle James won Outstanding Supporting Performance in a Comedy Series. Incredibly funny, just deadpan. You like one of those people. Hmm. Rachel's not as ridiculous as Janelle James' character.
Wait a minute.
No, here's what I'm saying.
What?
No. Let me land the plane. Rachel's not as ridiculous as Janelle James' character, but Rachel's comedy is the way Janelle James is serious and everybody thinks she's joking. That's what I think of when I think of Rachel. Rachel is funny. She's naturally funny just anyway. She can be funny if she wants to. But a lot of the comedy that I get from Rachel is because she's dead serious about something. And it sounds proud and it sounds silly, but she's dead serious. Yeah, that was not a shot. That was
Thank
comedy.
you. Shout out to
Yeah,
Ava Coleman and our impeccable comedic timing.
there you go. There you go. That's what it is. It's the comedic timing of it all. But I think obviously, anytime you get somebody from Abbott Elementary, you have a good winner there, and she is hilarious.
Yeah.
Anything else to add on that?
Nope. I love that. Abbott will be back next month. And Shrinking will
Abbott
be back soon too.
Shrinking will be back soon. Absolutely. And now we get into which was probably the most, not just for acting, but in general, I think drama series, outstanding supporting and lead were the most difficult choices for myself.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the outstanding supporting performance in a drama series. We have Laz Alonso and The Boys, Rome Flynn, Godfather of Harlem, Wood Harris, Forever, Tracy, I'm going to mess up her name, Afiachor in The Pit. We have Sky P. Marshall in Matlock, Isaiah Mustafa in Cross, Karen Pittman in Forever, Natasha Rothwell in The White Lotus, Daniel Sunjata in High Potential, and then Tremel Tillman in Severance, another person whose star is rising. Do you remember who you voted for?
I might have went Tracy from The Pit.
Got you. I went with the winner. I will admittedly admit some bias. He
Mm-hmm.
is just one of my favorite actors of all time. Severely underrated. Y'all know how I feel about The Wire. One of my favorite characters on The Wire. But honestly, before I started watching Forever, one of the things that was just resounding in the conversation was you got to watch Wood Harris
For
and the way
sure.
he portrays Black fatherhood.
For sure.
And I mentioned it in our Forever episode. My favorite scene my favorite episode throughout the series was the Martha's Vineyard episode, and my favorite scene was him and his son, which I can't think of his name right now.
Justin.
Justin, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Just discussing the heartbreak and what that's like and how you're supposed to respond to it as a man, and gets into masculinity and other things. But Wood Harris won for outstanding supporting performance in a drama series for Forever. Once again, majority of these nominees are more than qualified to have won, and they deserve the recognition. It just so happens that I voted for the person that did win. But you're absolutely correct, man. These are phenomenal
For
talents,
sure.
and Forever. All these shows, man. If you haven't watched them or haven't heard of them, Rachel's kind of giving you some side tidbits on Shrinking. Phenomenal show. It's on
Yeah.
Apple TV Plus. Apple TV Plus rarely misses. It is a comedy series. I think only 30-minute episodes.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford,
Harrison Ford, Jason
Jason Segel. Is
Segel.
it Segel or Seagal? I always mess that up.
I think it's Seagal, but don't give me the lion. I
It
don't
might,
know.
yeah, I don't know, man. Obviously, if you watch How I Met Your
I bet
Mother,
you
that's
I
where he
know.
raised the fame. Freaks and Geeks, which is a cult classic, only had one season. But yeah, either way, I'm
Forget
happy with
Sarah
that.
Marshall.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Yeah, I own Forgetting Sarah Marshall too. That movie's fried. And the follow up, Get Him to the Greek, that's fried as
Yeah.
well. But yeah, that is what we got as far as the supporting or outstanding supporting performances. Let's talk about the leads, Rachel.
Okay.
Let's get into it. Outstanding lead performance in a TV, movie, or limited series. The nominees are Uza, excuse me, Uzo Aduba, The Supremes
Mhm.
at Earl's All You Can Eat, Viola Davis, G20, which I didn't watch.
It was actually
Can't
good.
remember. That come out on Prime? That wasn't a Netflix. That was Prime.
Fine.
What am I thinking about on Netflix? Am I thinking about was Angela Bassett the president in that Robert De Niro show?
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking about. All right, then. So
Mhm.
this is a Prime show. Viola Davis and G20, Coleman Domingo in The Madness, Ingenue Ellis Taylor and the Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat. Once again, if you haven't watched that show, please watch it.
It's so good. So
Yeah,
important.
it really is. And a lot of big names. Lawrence Fishburne and Clipped. Did you watch Clipped?
I did. It wasn't great.
It was not good at all.
And again, you just said it earlier. Comparison is the thief of joy. I think it's unfortunate, but if Clipped would have come out before Winning Time,
Mm-hmm.
it likely would have been received a little bit better. Now, it wasn't great in general, but Winning Time was so good, and all it did was reinforce that the Clippers are the sons of the Lakers.
That's
All it did was little bro the Clippers all over again.
fantastic point, Rachel, because when we covered Winning Time, when we discussed our the heartbreak that we had when it got canceled
Yeah.
because it was such a good show, and there's so much, and that's the other thing. Um, there's so much more of that story that was to be told. So
Mhm.
much other good stuff that we talked about. But after you watch Winning Time, Clips seemed like a parody. It
Yeah.
almost seemed like an SNL skit
Yeah.
of what it was trying to do. And they took it seriously. And I
Mhm.
don't want to downplay any of the actors or anybody in production or directors. Um, because in its own world, it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
But when you compare the two, it's just not even a conversation.
To your point, I think Lawrence Fishburne did do Doc Rivers well.
He
Um
did.
his last name isn't Helms. Ed Married with Children, the dad who
Oh, you
played
talking about Ed O'Neill?
O'Neill. Um who played Homeboy. He
He was kind of a parody. Like, but that's how Donald Sterling is. Donald Sterling's a weird
Sterling.
dude.
Uh-huh. But when you look at Bill O'Reilly as Dr. Bus,
You talking about not Bill O'Reilly. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
uh,
We're talking about why can't I think of my man's name?
um the
John C. Riley. John C.
John
Riley.
C. Riley. Look at me
Yeah,
turning to
that's what
Barbara Howard.
in real time. In real time. Yeah. John C. Riley smoked it.
John C. Riley smoked it as Dr. Bus. And so when you just look at the two, even though these are two kind of quirky, dare I say, characters, and two actors who have been in the game for a very long time, but just
And
man.
also, in
Mhm.
fairness, in real life, Dr. Bus is somebody you would hang out with way before you hang out with Donald Sterling.
Yeah,
So there's that part of it too. Like he made that character look cool because Dr. Bus did have some cool shit going on. I
for
would never
sure.
in a million years hang out with Donald Sterling.
But I think that Ed did a good job of showing that,
He
like,
did.
why he's not somebody you would just flock to, and why he doesn't have the popularity that Dr. Bus had.
He did. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Getting back to these nominees. So we talked about Lawrence Fishburne and Clipped.
Mhm.
We have Brian Tyree Henry and Dope Thief.
So
Andre Holland, who is low key.
underrated.
So I want to talk about this just very, very, very briefly, since we're in the spirit of awards. So the Black Real Awards are celebrating 25 years.
Mhm.
One of the things that they're doing is they're kind of making a breakdown of the top 25 of the past 25, right? Whether that be actors, performances, and all of that. And Rachel, myself, in school, we voted on that recently, submitted those ballots like 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
I don't know when it's being released, but there was a section for the top 25 actors, I believe,
Yeah.
or top 10 maybe.
Mhm.
And it was so hard for me to leave Andre Holland off my list. Like, and I
I did.
like there's big dogs. There's big dogs on there, but Andre Holland is supremely underrated.
He is sneaky good. at what he does, and he does so much. I love him.
I think he is. I think Andre Holland is now what I thought of Jeffrey Wright in like 1999,
You
2000.
took the words. I was
Like
gonna say
when,
Jeffrey Wright. You
yeah,
took.
it's gonna take him some time to get that just due. But if
Mm-hmm.
you already on to him, you're gonna feel like proud. Like, yo, I've
Yeah,
been on the Andre Holland from
yeah.
X, Y, and Z. We talked about what's the name? Was it Exhibiting Forgiveness? We talked about that. We're actually, Rachel and myself are actually going to discuss a film with him on
Mm-hmm.
the upcoming episode of Culture Garden next week. Andre Holland is just somebody I will give me all the stock. Give
Mm-hmm.
me all the stock. I will be the president of the fan club. Rachel will be president. I'll be VP. It is what it is. But he was nominated for The Big Cigar. Rashida Jones in Black Mirror. Ruth Nega in Presumed Innocent. And then Aaron Pierre for Rebel Ridge. Winner. Go ahead.
Is it
What you
Brian
gonna
T.
say?
Tyree Henry?
Aaron Pierre. Aaron Pierre. So
Not on my watch.
so here's
Man,
the thing.
go ahead.
Here's the thing with this, and we already alluded to it. Everybody nominated should be honored, and they did an incredible job.
Mm-hmm.
But every now and then, you have some performances that are just the same way I talked about Andre Holland. Brian Tyree Henry is
Dope Thief, baby.
Brian Tyree Henry is one of the best actors of this generation.
Y'all, when I tell you he was putting on a clinic, he was putting on a clinic in Dope Thief. And again, we just saying Andre Holland's praises. The Big Cigar was phenomenal. It was really, really, really fucking good. Again, shout out to Apple TV that rarely misses.
It's funny. So we go back to Atlanta came out what 2016, 17?
Sure.
That's when we were first introduced to Brian Tyree Henry, and that's when that kind of new wave of these actors. So Lakeith Stanfield, your Daniel Kaluuyas, your Damson Idris. I know I'm missing some people in this realm, but that's when they kind of started coming around. And you've seen the success. Daniel Kaluuya with Good Get Out. He's won an Oscar for Judas and the Black Messiah. Now that
I said so good.
Yeah. Now that we've gotten almost 10 years into that run, 8, 9, 10 years into that run, I think Brian Tyree Henry is him. And I wouldn't have said that 5 years ago. But I think now I've seen enough.
Honestly, what turned Brian Tyree Henry from what was it? I keep want to call him Doughboy, but that is Boys in the
Paper Boy.
Paperboy.
Paperboy. All about that Paperboy.
What turned him from Paperboy to a serious actor to me was honestly If Beale Street Could Talk. That was the first time I saw him like, oh shit, okay, there's some depth here. And then
he had that movie with did you watch that movie with why can't I think of her name? She's a big time actor.
I don't know.
Jennifer Lawrence. Did you watch that movie?
I have
her?
I have no
Causeway.
idea. No.
It's called Causeway. It's on Apple TV.
Oh, okay, no.
Yeah, it's like PTSD, U.S. soldier type stuff. Just
not at all.
Just his acting performances. The movie's whatever, but the performance
was he like not like a work? I don't want to say a worker. Was he? He was like his car needed to be fixed, or his car broke down, or something. And
I believe so. Yeah.
Maybe I did watch that.
Yeah. He was in Bullet Train, of course. Been in a lot of stuff.
But as far as TV goes, his cameos, quote unquote, or guest appearances on what's the Sterling K. Brown show?
I'm trying to think of what it is. Oh, This Is Us?
This Is Us. Oh my God. When they
another show I never watched.
They went, what? I'm not doing that with you.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because everybody said they be crying at the end, and I'm not trying to be in that emotional state.
Yeah, but you need a good cry. It's so good. Go back.
I'm gonna start it. I plan on starting for another week in the books.
When they did that flashback, quote unquote, when William, what's the face? His father went back to Memphis, and Brian Tyree Henry was in there. He was singing. I played that song. I bought it on Apple Music. I'm about to play it tomorrow. Well, tonight when we get done recording, we'll always come back to this. So fucking good because he can sing too. Shout out to Yale School of
Yeah,
Drama.
I say yeah.
Mhm.
Legit, man. Brian Tyree Henry, man. Can't say enough about him.
Yeah.
Coleman Domingo and the Madness was great.
Okay.
Everybody did a great job, but I think Brian Tyree, that's who I voted for.
Yeah.
When it was time to fill in the ballots. But once again, shout out to Aaron Pierre, got the job done. We'll go ahead and move on. Let's talk about outstanding lead performance in a comedy series.
Mm-hmm.
The nominees for this category are Uzo Aduba, The Residents; Quinta Brunson, Abbott Elementary; Michelle Buteau, Survival of the Thickest; Ayo Idabiri,
Io.
Io, I always mess that up. Io Idabiri, The
Mm-hmm.
Bear; Megan Good in Harlem; Delroy Lindo in Unprisoned.
Man.
Yeah, Delroy, man, Unprisoned, man. I forgot about that show.
Oh,
Simone Missick, who I've been a big fan of Simone Missick for quite some
mhm.
time. Simone Missick and Government Cheese; David
Oh
Oyolalo,
yeah. Whoa.
Oyolo. Yes, what
Oh yeah.
Rachel said.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That wouldn't rub off, man. I got big lips, y'all. My fault. Government Cheese. Natasha, it wouldn't roll off my, it's hard for me to pronounce sometimes. Natasha Rothwell and How to Die Alone. It's still a criminal how they did that show.
It surely did. Go
And then
ahead.
Kerry Washington and Unprisoned. Those are your 10 nominees. Who you think won? Who was your vote getter?
Um, Quinta and Quinta.
Yeah, Quentin won. Once
Yeah.
again. It's just, they're just kind of gonna have that on lock. Some shows, when Sopranos was on the air, they had a run at the Emmys. When Breaking Bad was on the air, they had a run at the Emmys. There's just some shows that are just, Modern Family. Yeah, you just know that's
Yeah,
the beast that's the machine that you're going up against.
for
Abbott
sure.
Elementary, it's their turn. So
And it's
Quinta,
hard because I think Michelle Buteau in Survival of the Thickest would have probably been my second pick. It's hard as much as I love The Bear, even though we didn't talk about season 4 like we planned. That's my fault, not Kyron's, y'all. Um
and it is what it is.
it's not funny. Like it has funny moments, so I grapple with it being listed as a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a dark comedy, but
Yeah, it's got some very, like you said, it's not the traditional comedy.
yeah,
Abbott Elementary is a comedy. Dark, The Bear is. It just so happens some dark shit happens, and I found the humor in it. That's
yeah.
kind of what that is. So let's wrap it up with our last category that we're going to be discussing.
Mhm.
Just FYI, the Black Real TV Awards have more categories. We're just not going to go over them.
Yeah.
So please check them out, blackrealawards.com. You can find all the winners as well as nominees. But
Mhm.
we're going to end this with what was probably the most difficult decision that I had to make when I was filling out the ballot, which was most outstanding drama lead performance. And that's where we're going to be. So we're going to start it off with Jacob Anderson. Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire. I don't know how many people are like hip to that show or familiar with that show.
Mhm.
Sneaky good show. A show
Yeah.
that you look at. A show
Yeah.
that you look at and said, I ain't watching that. But you
Mhm.
start watching it and say, oh, okay. So if you have a chance, check that out. Sterling K. Brown, Paradise. Michael Cooper Jr., Forever. I'm going to mess up her name as well. Jax from Reasonable Doubt, man.
Ah!
Imayatsi, Corey. I'm gonna mess. I feel so bad for messing up people's names.
Sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry. Apologies. Aldous Hodge from Cross, Lashana Lynch from The Day of the Jackal, Patina Miller, Power Book 3, Raising Canaan, Harold Perrineau from,
From is so good.
Zoe Saldana as Lioness. She does not want to be she does not want to be in these awards, y'all. But also Lovey Simone and Forever.
And I will oblige her. As
Exactly.
good as Lioness is, I will oblige you.
It's like Zoe been telling us for years. I'm
Don't
cool.
worry about it, sweetheart.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. but just a power. If you watch these shows, and that's a powerhouse of nominees. All are so deserving of
For
this
sure.
win. Rachel, do you remember who you voted for?
I probably gave it to. Ooh, I don't know. I probably gave it for real. I probably gave it to Patina because we were doing Raising Kanan at the time.
Yeah,
But
Patina
it's
was my
probably
second.
Sterling. Hmm.
Yeah, so for those out there, the way this works, there's a full list,
Yeah.
like a whole list of nominees where we vote on our top 10.
Hmm.
Like I can't tell you how many people, like maybe 25, 30 nominees, and you vote on your top 10. And then from there, once again, that's why I want to give Cordell a shout out because he has to take those initial nominations and then narrow them down to the top 10 vote getters. And then you pick one from those 10 to be your winner.
Yeah.
Patina was definitely on the list. Patina's criminally underrated, in my opinion. I thought Lovey and Michael Cooper Jr. from Forever both deserved it. But I went with Sterling K. Brown because for one, Sterling K. Brown is he can't be. I don't even know if I have the right words for how good of a performer he is, good of
Hmm.
an actor he is, and how he can kind of blend into any role. Whether it's something like Paradise or you even go to American Fiction, which came out the year
Yeah.
before, um, and just a scene stealer in that movie, and just everything that he does is just phenomenal. And you always want more of him. I remember Black Panther came out, and it's like, as big as this cast is, and as
Hmm.
even though we're living in a fictional world, I could have loved to see a little bit more Sterling K. Brown. And if you have them as your like kind of just once again, if we talk about the Bear has been known for these big actors in these small roles, just kind of coming in and making a guest appearance. So when you have somebody like Sterling K. Brown making a quick entrance into a film like that, it only elevates the film itself. The way I'm talking, you should probably guess Sterling K. Brown did win
Yeah.
Outstanding Lead Performer in a Drama Series. If you watch Paradise, we don't really have to explain why.
Yeah.
So that's it, Rachel.
So
That's
good.
it.
This was
Black Real TV Awards.
about it, even going back through it. And again, like Kyron said, there are other categories: directing, production, I think costume, there
Writing.
writing. There are so many other categories. Check it out. Support Black Real, guys. There's so much Black TV, or at least Black actors in TV. Support them.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the shows. They Most of them are worth your while, I promise. And if I if I recommended it, it's worth it. Because
No, that's real. Which is and Rachel's the one. And Rachel's the one that does this. If there's anything that I ever need to watch or I'm looking for a suggestion, I will get it from Rachel.
Yeah.
We just had to raise watching, and that's a great segue into this last point I want to make. Rachel just mentioned how there's so much great Black TV on the air.
Mhm.
Well, we will be covering, in a sense, Seen and Heard, which is going to be put out by Hooray Media. It's a
Yeah.
two-part documentary about I don't know if it's the women in Black television or just Black television as a whole. I can't remember. It explores Black representation throughout TV history. Premieres on HBO Max September 9th. So this upcoming week.
Oh, shit.
I'm sure maybe next weekend, once me and Rachel figure out our schedules, and once we have a chance to actually look at it and
Yeah.
pay attention to it, we will have a conversation about it. Kind of reminds me of if anybody watched Number One on the Call Sheet on Apple TV
Mhm.
Plus.
Mhm.
They had two different parts, one for the women and one for the men, that I really enjoyed, just
Yeah.
going through the history. And you really think about it of where we were. It's not like we didn't have Black people on TV. Rachel and myself were kids when shows like Martin and Living Single and
Mhm.
Rock and Fresh Prince and all these other shows were on. And then there was like a lull, but now we're into the more serious and drama and all that stuff. So a lot of great Black television out there. I'm loving every second of it.
For sure.
Shout out to the Black Real
Shout out
Awards,
to Black
TV and film.
TV and film.
These platforms that Rachel and myself are a part of, We Got Y'all, Culture Garden, these were made for these purposes and make sure
For
we
sure.
highlight the culture. So this is a lot of fun. It's fun partaking in it. To echo what Rachel said earlier, I want to tip my hat to anybody who's a part of any kind of voting academy, for all of those who take this serious
Yeah.
and really like give their all into making sure they put the best effort into these people's incredible work. I think
Mhm.
you can't go without saying, it can't be said enough how phenomenal of a job. And it's such a pleasure and honor just to be able to sit back and overwhelmed with all this greatness. Like it's
Yeah,
just cool
for
that we have a voice and an opinion and all of that.
sure.
And it's a small list. I think when you look at it, I think there's less than 100, less than 90 people who get to
Yeah,
vote on this stuff in the entire world.
yeah.
So to be a part of that is an extreme honor. And I know Rachel will say the same. And you know what else is an extreme honor, Rachel?
What?
Working
Talking
with
to
you,
me?
working with you week in and week out, as well as being able to have an audience that we have to discuss all of this, man. All of that's an extreme honor. And I would appreciate all of y'all. And Rachel, I appreciate you greatly. And I
For
love you dearly.
sure. For sure. I love you real big. Thank y'all. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to We Got Y'all. We Got Y'all Pod. Email us. We got y'all pod@gmail.com. I think that's it. It'll be in the bio if not.
Straight up.
Also, speaking of voting in all of these academies, go vote in your primary elections. Hello, we need that. Thank y'all. Peace.
We out, y'all. See
Bye.
y'all soon.
Holla.